Hey guys, Oblivion903 here once again, and welcome to the first part of my Destiny playthrough. And I'm really looking forward to playing this. I did play the beta a few months ago and really enjoyed it. I didn't know what to expect from the game, but had a really good time with it. Really looking forward to getting to this now. So I'm just going to dive right in here. And for you guys that watched the beta a couple months ago, I decided to play as the Titan. And been sort of trying to think about whether to go down that route again. Obviously I do like to mix things up a little bit, but I've had a look at the classes in a bit more detail recently, and I still think the Titan is the way to go, although I might do a playthrough of all three just to see what it's like. And they're obviously both going to have their uses, so I say both, all are going to have their uses, but in terms of video games, I am sort of more suited to a Titan. When I play first-person shooters, I do like to be just sort of an assault-style guy. And when playing stuff like RPGs, I'm more of a warrior. So I'm going to take a little bit look at the classes in a bit more detail. But I think I'm going to be going with the Titan. So as you can see here, this is the guy that I'll probably be going with. And like I said, it suits me a bit better, more of a full-on assault kind of guy. I've also got the Hunter, which in terms of first-person shooter would suit more of a sniper kind of character. In stuff like RPGs, you'd think of it more of like a thief. And last but not least, we've got the Warlock, which I suppose could be some sort of like a medic style character. Also in terms of RPGs, you'd probably say along the lines of a mage. And the reason I'm sort of mentioning RPGs as well as first-person shooter is, although this is a first-person shooter game, it is technically an MMO. So it does sort of play on the sort of RPG style elements as well, especially with stuff like leveling up and how your character develops into subclasses, etc, etc. And that's why I've sort of been making comparisons between the three classes in both first-person shooters and RPGs. So anyway, like I said, the Titan does suit me more, being sort of a warrior assault kind of guy. It's probably because I've got no patience at all. I'd like to be out on the battlefield, and whether that's good or bad, I basically just go in full out assault and just see what happens really. But I'm going to go with the Titan again. Like I said, I might do a playthrough of the other ones at a later date. So I'm just going to customise my appearance. And I'm probably going to have a helmet on, so I might as well just go with male. Although I think I might be a bit different. I might go for an Exo because he looks pretty badass. I'm going to go with a Male Exo just for something a little bit different. Let's have a quick look at the faces there, just see what this game has to offer. I think I'm going to go with that guy. I don't really get what these are about, but apparently that's there. Can we change this? Oh, that looks pretty badass. I like red as well. Let's go with black and red. Can we get rid of those things? Because those things, yeah, we can. Those things really annoy me. It's a bit of a weird. No, we don't want that. Let's have a flick through. Just see what this has to offer. There's a few cool things. I think I'm actually just going to leave that blank. I don't really like the look of any of them. And any markings on our suit? Let's have a look. I think I'm going to leave it blank. Actually, I think that'll suit me fine. So right, here I am. I am an Exo Titan. It's a bit different to the one that I used before. I think I was a human last time. I'm not entirely sure. But right, just going to get into the opening part of the game now.
We called it the Traveler, and its arrival changed us forever. Great cities were built on Mars and Venus. Mercury became a garden world. Human lifespan tripled. It was a time of miracles. We stared out at the galaxy and knew that it was our destiny to walk in the light of other stars. But the Traveler had an enemy. A darkness which had hunted it for eons across the black gulfs of space. Centuries after our golden age began, this darkness found us. And that was the end of everything. But it was also a beginning.
Is it possible? There you are. Guardian? Eyes up, Guardian. It worked. You're alive. You don't know how long I've been looking for you. I'm a ghost. Actually, now I'm your ghost. And you, well, you've been dead a long time. So you're gonna see a lot of things you won't understand. This is fallen territory. We aren't safe here. I have to get you to the city. Hold still. Don't worry, I'm still with you. We need to move, fast. We won't survive long out in the open like this. Let's get inside the walls.
Right, so now after that lengthy opening cutscene, we're now in control of the character. Any of you that watched the beta, either for myself or someone else, will probably recognise this. This is the same opening level that was in the beta, but a good way to kick things off because it sort of does show you a lot of elements of the game and sort of gets you used to it. So although familiar, it's still something that needs to be done, and it's still a really enjoyable level either way. But first things first, just heading into the wall, I believe it was called, and at the minute, just sort of heading towards the weapon that we need to pick up.
They're right above us. Hang tight. Fallen thrive in the dark. We won't. We need more light. I'll see what I can do.
Right, so here we go. We're going to grab the rifle, and now we're equipped to fight the Fallen, which, as you saw, are coming for us. So it's straight into the gunfight.
Eyes forward. Watch your tracker.
Right, so here we go, taking a few of them out so far. Just use the melee, there you go, it's, press RB to do that. Something I'm probably going to be doing quite a lot, as it's pretty good move for my character, the Titan. I believe he's quite strong in melee attacks, so it's something I enjoy doing as well. I find it quite fun just to punch some guy in the face. Not that I'm a violent person though, just in video games I think it's quite funny. Right, just taking these guys out here, and then I'm just going to pick that up, some more ammo, and then I'm going to progress through the wall. And like I said, this might be familiar to any of you guys that watched the beta early on in the year.
Let's see what's inside.
Right, just picked up some loot there, can swap our special weapon. This is more of a shotgun, I see, it's not more of a shotgun, it is a shotgun. But it comes in handy, it has its use. Right, I'm going to avoid those lasers because as you can see, they do explode. They are sort of like tripwires. So I want to keep an eye on them, although it's not really too hard to see. Punch that guy in the face, there we go, took him out as well. I was hoping one of them was going to walk through that, but unfortunately they're not that dumb. But anyways, walking around that laser and moving on to the next section, just going to reload this as well. While there's no enemies attacking me. But that doesn't last for long, because here we go, there's a few more here. A nice punch to the face. As you can see, I do like using melee. It also saves ammo, which is always useful. Right, there we go, punch him in the face, shouldn't get too close. And I think that's all of them, is there? Oh, there's a couple more here. Just popped out of nowhere, just take care of them. There we go, I think that's all them taken care of, that was fairly straightforward. So I'm just going to move on now into the next section.
Just a little bit further. Let's hope there's something left out there.
And right, now we're in the divide.
This was an old cosmodrome. There's got to be something we can fly out of here. Incoming.
And there's some enemies somewhere, I can't see them. One of them did just hit us though.
Close to the surface. Move.
Right, got another objective now, fight through the Fallen. So just going to continue taking out all of these guys. They're all level 1, so they're nothing too difficult. They do get harder throughout the game, and the levels do sort of indicate how tough they are. But I believe you can set a difficulty, so you can make it a bit easier if you want. But obviously the higher level you're defeating, the more you can level up yourself, and probably the greater rewards you're going to get. So it's something I'll bear in mind throughout the course of this game. I will be doing pretty much everything live. Unless I really need to level up for a level, then obviously I might do that beforehand. But we'll see how it goes. In the beta though, I didn't really have any problems. Even on the levels where I was a level or two underneath what it sort of wanted you to be, I still found the levels generally okay. So hopefully with that in mind, it should all be good, and we should get through this game with no problem. But I think for now it's all the enemies taken care of. Actually, I spoke too soon, there's another guy there. There's a few more. That's good. We want as many enemies as we can. We don't want it to be boring. Got some more ammo there. Just going to head into here. There's a new type of enemy there, the Shank. We haven't come across them yet there so far. There's a lot of these dregs, which remind me a bit of the grunts in Halo. Just those sort of really basic, weak enemies. Sort of like cannon fodder. There's a load of them, but on the roll they don't generally do too much. And there's my first level up. I've got an upgrade as well, so let's have a look, see what there is. Right, we can get the flashbang grenade, which we will do now. It's always another useful thing to have. So now we should be able to throw grenades. And we've got another objective here to find the ship. That's the next part there that we're going to be doing in this level. Right, there's a few more dregs there, just taking care of them. You can probably see what I mean by the similarities to the grunts, how they're basically just a lot easier to take care of. But I imagine when there's a big group then they probably can cause some damage, much like the grunts could in Halo. There were generally weak enemies, but there were sneaky little things that always had the group factor to help them. That sort of did make things a lot harder. And obviously this game isn't Halo, but obviously it's made by Bungie. It's got similarities to it. It could quite easily be sort of remade into a Halo game, so that's why I've sort of come up with similarities to it. Just because obviously the Halo feel is here. Which isn't a bad thing, because obviously that was an absolutely fantastic game, and it did revolutionise the first-person shooter genre back throughout the early 2000s. And it is interesting to see how Bungie's going to basically develop the Destiny series. Obviously this is the first sort of big thing they've done since Halo. It might be the first thing they've done since Halo, I'm not totally sure. But it'll be interesting to see whether this is sort of their new flagship franchise. They have put a lot of money into this game. Something reportedly around $500 million in the deal with Activision and Bungie. Don't hold me to that though. But it'd be very interesting to see how this whole Destiny thing pans out. I've got big hopes for it. But anyway, I'm going to leave you with this little cutscene here. I don't like to talk through them, so I'm just going to stay silent for a little bit.
I can make it work. Okay, it's not going to break orbit, but it just might get us to the city. Now, about that transmat. Bringing you in. We can come back for them when you're ready. Let's get you home.
Right, so it looks like that is the first level completed. I didn't do too bad. I leveled up. Got a reward as well. Let's have a look at that. It's just something for the ship. I'm not totally sure actually what it is. I'll find out. Yeah, not bad. I've got to say I did pretty well. Happy with that. Sort of got an upgrade, got the flashbang grenade, and also made progression towards the lift upgrade. So I'm just going to click continue and just move on.
Welcome to the last safe city on Earth. The only place the Traveler can still protect. It took centuries to build. Now, we're counting every day it stands. And this tower is where the Guardians live.
Excess radiation. Quarantine.
Gotta say this is pretty long loading times. Right, there we go. It took a while. Right, so now we are in the Tower Plaza, the last safe city on Earth, and I'm going to conclude this video here. I'm going to conclude part 1, and in part 2 I'm going to be looking around this city and just sort of exploring it and seeing what it's got to offer before moving on to the next missions of the game. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it so far. I really enjoyed the first mission. It's a game I've been looking forward to for a long time, and I can't wait to dive further into this game and just see what the rest of it is all about. And so hopefully you'll be joining me in the next video. And until then guys, bye for now.